Verse News and Super are speculative ad-lib parody news podcasts. Verse News, Super, and its affiliates and sponsors claim no rights or liability to licenses, trademarks, and copyright of characters mentioned. Such characters are used under the fair use laws as a parody and speculative newscast. Verse News, Super, its parent company, sponsors, and affiliates do not claim responsibility for content made and is purely for the entertainment of its audiences. Super, Verse News, and its parent companies, affiliates, and sponsors advise listeners to absorb content with caution and claims no liability for damage caused by its listeners. Discretion is advised.
Welcome to Verse News, the newscast for all the space between. I'm Mike McNosey here with Rick Rogers on the main desk. When you want news across the verse, trust Verse News to bring you the objective point of view.
This just in, we have an unsubstantiated report from Avengers headquarters. They are stating the Secretary of Planet Affairs is now deceased, murdered inside the compound. As we receive more details on the developing story, we will keep you posted.
And now for Traffic with Marty Maxwell, brought to you by Transdimensional Airlines.
Right you are, Mike.
Just because we don't trust our technology doesn't mean you shouldn't.
Do you need a vacation from your universe? Is the stress of your dimension just too much? Afraid your molecules won't survive the transdimensional shift from a transporter? Then come to Transdimensional Airlines and we'll whisk you away to another world. We can take you to a place so far away you won't even recognize where you landed, because we don't even know where you ended up. No matter if you want to hide away in a wizard world or take a break on a tropical planet, Transdimensional Airlines can get you there in comfort and style. Our seats are extra plush and our windows have extra coating to protect from those pesky nuclear waves. We can't guarantee the trip won't age you, but we can guarantee you'll hardly notice. Check out our special flights to the universe of the month. Fly first class at economy class rates to some of your favorite places. Transdimensional Airlines cannot guarantee destination will be reached. TDA is not responsible for lost luggage or people arriving in a universe not suitable for any being in their current corporeal state. Side effects of interdimensional travel include, but are not limited to, rapid aging, loss of limb, dementia, and or death. All passengers fly at their own risk. Transdimensional Airlines, where you want your vacation to be a surprise.
Over to you, Marty.
With the lack of traffic, I think it should be smooth sailing, but it appears mischief is ruling the day when no one is watching. There has been no shortage of traffic jams caused by villains and heroes alike. Today, it appears a herd of bantha are blocking the intersection of Wall Street and Vine. None of those essential bankers are getting into their offices anytime soon. And it never ceases to amaze me the destruction that Deadpool causes when he decides to go on a rampage. It's almost as if he decided to play bumper car chicken with the few cars out there on the I-970, forcing many of the vehicles off of the road while he drove, is still driving, a taco truck in the wrong direction of traffic. If that's not enough to tell you to stay home, I don't know what is. Officers are in pursuit in attempt to stop the carnage, but that is only making the entire situation worse, as it just adds more cars for Deadpool to prey on. 4 police vehicles have been destroyed so far in the chase. I hope that's all I have to report today. Back to you in the studio.
More on our breaking news. It appears the Scarlet Witch managed to cut through the defenses at Avengers headquarters, and we have confirmation that she has assassinated the Secretary of Planetary Affairs. While the Avengers were taken by surprise, they put up a nominal defense. They were unable to capture the Scarlet Witch following the incidents. We will bring you more on this developing story as we receive the information.
Our main story tonight involves multiple verses. Recently, many supers have apparated out of battles while trying to protect their respective worlds. Wizards then force them to perform parlor tricks, leaving worlds in perilous amounts of danger from their absence. Supers are furious and have brought forth a new referendum to the Earth One Alliance, as the supers try to force the EOA to consider restrictions on apparating powers of wizards. The referendum is seeking reparations and tighter laws preventing wizards apparating supers to wherever and whenever the wizard chooses. Wizards are against any restrictions on magical abilities, and the community has been very vocal about retaliation if the referendum is taken seriously. Earth One Alliance has been in talks with the MM to see if there are other possible solutions to the problem. The referendum goes up for vote next week. If it doesn't pass, the supers might take action in the form of destruction.
Representatives of the wizarding community have written a letter stating that if the legislation passes, they intend to take all galleons, currently valued at 80% of the world gold supply, out of public circulation.
I know we wouldn't want to see that, Rick.
If you have a lead or feedback on a story you'd like to hear on Verse News, email us at versenews@ativerse.com. This has been Verse News. I'm Rick Rogers with Mike McNosian, signing off. Try to enjoy the space between.
Stay tuned for Super Dirt, coming up next.
Bobby Baxter here for Super Dirt. You can find us on all of our social media at Super Dirt HQ. And if you want to submit something that you've seen out there in Superland, go to superdirtnews.com and submit it. Or you can always go to Super Dirt HQ and be a part of the movement. All you dirtbags out there, get up and revolt against... No, don't revolt. Just give us the dirt on the supers.
This show is part of the Geek Nerd Network. Find more shows like it at geeknerdnetwork.com.
This is Janet.
Welcome to Super Dirt. I'm Bobby Baxter, editor-in-chief of Super Dirt, here in Super Dirt HQ. And we've got the dirt on the supers tonight. Let's introduce our amazing, powerful group of roving reporters out there on the streets, killing it every night, finding out the dirt. Tell us what's going on. Going gone. You know what I mean. Mr. I Am.
It's Invisible Man, talking to you about the new biopic.
New biopic. That's not him.
Henry Harrison on our story with global warming.
Kenny Cassidy here with the dirt on Jamison today, Bobby.
Dirt on Anytime you got dirt on Jamison, I'm all over the place. I love it. Let's find out. Let's find out what's going on. Okay, who wants to start with your dirt, my friends?
So you saw something on the internet.
Yes, I did. It's really interesting. So there's a video out there of a dude smacking this lady's chair in back of her. And she's like videoing it. She says it's really bad. But what people don't know, so we know Oliver Queen is the arrow. We also know that Oliver Queen used to be a rich dude and he used to fly on his own planes and all that crap. But now he's doing coach. And they didn't release this, but actually Oliver Queen was on the other side. He turned around and knocked out the dude. He smacked him in the head and knocked the guy out for the rest of the flight. And the lady was gracious and thankful. This brings me to anger management for supers. And I know Oliver Queen, his superpower is the fact that he lived on an island for 5 years.
That could make you a little bit angry.
It can make you a little bit angry. And he was tortured. He was burned. He's got a lot of scars, blah, 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 blah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, and we've seen him be a little bit angry. But what I'm thinking is this something that we should be worried about in the super world? I mean, dude, if Superman gets pissed off, that's a problem.
So they were on a plane, just to clarify?
Yes, they were on a plane.
So they were in an
They're in the middle
space.
of flight.
In the middle of flight?
Yes.
Not even taxiing or anything?
No. They were in the middle of the flight where, we're all pretty much in that room and there's not much we can do about it.
I mean, so what happens when one of them gets angry and they blow up the plane? How are we going to handle that?
Most of the dudes that could blow up the plane probably have a different way to get there.
Yeah.
I would think.
Well, the Hulk, though. I mean, we all know David Banner's kind of gotten control of himself a little bit now. Is it David Banner?
Bruce Banner.
Bruce. Who's
Sorry,
David
Bobby,
Bruce
keep going.
Banner? Who the hell's David Banner? You guys know me.
We know you don't know names. It's okay, Bobby. We got you.
We got you, Bobby.
That's why you guys are here, because you are the real men and women of reporting. What did I say?
Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner is a little bit in control of himself. But back when he wasn't, what would happen? What if he was the guy in front? Man, if somebody was tapping my chair like that, I would turn around and knock the crud out of the dude. I would probably need anger management, truthfully. But I'm not a super.
Yeah.
Oh, where are you going? Oh, I see. Kenny's got some issues.
Okay, so supers are super for a reason, right? For whatever reason, scientific experiment, nuclear blast, who knows, who cares? But they have a job to do and they protect us. If we quelch that part of their super emotions, does that make them less effective?
Well, aren't villains? Don't they also have superpowers? They're technically supers, right? And
Well,
they
yeah.
don't protect us.
So we should definitely have anger management for villains.
Okay, but what do you propose we do? I mean, how do you mandate that?
You don't, because they're villains. I was being sarcastic.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
But I don't think we need to curb anything. Like, they're here, they do a job for us, they do a service, and it's a high-stress job. Like, let's be honest. I mean, how many times can you open up a transdimensional portal and keep the aliens from coming through before you, like, have a lot of built-up energy and, like, crap? I think that they would be less effective if we ended up sending them to a shrink over every traumatic thing that ever happened to them, because half the time it's the trauma that makes them who they are. Just like with the Arrow.
We don't talk about collateral damage very much. Is there a lot of collateral damage for supers? When the whole thing was happening where the aliens were down and they blew up, they bashed up half of the city.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people freaking died?
Well, there was hundreds from the Hulk alone, and come on, the thing that he says the most is Hulk smash.
Well, and then he crushes a tank. Like, this is why the military's budget is so high. They've got to replace these things.
In the history of war, there's always collateral damage. Is there more collateral damage with supers? And is it because they get out of line? They're just really pissed. They're not paying attention. Or are they just saving the world, and it just so happens we've got to let a few people die when you're saving the world?
I think we'd need to commission a study.
But I
Conventional
guarantee
weapons
you
versus
Superman
supers.
won't let Lois Lane die no matter what the crap happens.
If you're selective in sacrifice, and that's an entirely different thing than, having anger management problems. But like I said, like, the trauma is what makes half of them who they are. Think about it. Arrow is the Arrow because he spent 5 traumatic years on an island. Let's be honest. If he didn't have that, then
He wouldn't
he
have
can't
the
do his
gumption
job.
to do it. Yeah. True, okay.
Well, he'd still have the
makes a good point.
skills, right? Like, he could still do the job.
If you really got into Zen and meditation and stuff, don't you think that could help you hone in and do an even better job?
Because you're not letting anger rule you. You can focus on the objective.
We've talked about different universes, different dimensions, which we will have a interdimensional reporter do that stuff. But I know in the Star Wars world realm,
anger's a
the
bad
Sith,
thing.
the Sith use anger for their power. And it's never usually good.
But without the Sith, you don't have the Jedi. Like, you have to know evil to know good, right? Just like we
I don't
have
know.
Sith to know
No,
supers.
the Sith were underground for 1,000 years. No one knew of them. I mean, the Jedi knew of them,
okay,
but they thought they were wiped out.
Okay, I just want to open it up that maybe we should look at maybe a super collective of psychiatrists.
management.
Because I could not imagine the weight of being a superhero and having to deal with that kind of stuff of hundreds of thousands of people dying or saving the world. I mean, the thought of saving the world, that's got to cause some mental issues,
Gotta
doesn't it?
weigh, man.
So maybe it's not anger management as much as maybe they just need to sit down with a good therapist. Maybe they do. Maybe we should find that out. Invisible
they need
Man.
trauma management.
Maybe they need to sit down with Professor X.
Oh,
Let him
Professor
get
X might
inside
be
their
able to
heads.
help.
Yeah.
There you go. Mr. I Am, what do you think about visiting and finding out if any of the supers out there are doing... Because, you're our detective that can get in anywhere and do anything.
I'll track him down.
Okay. All right. What else is out there, guys?
I think it's clear that, Oliver Queen is, if he has a therapist, it's not working.
Obviously.
Exactly. Smack a dude on a train.
But
plane.
I do want to go back to he was on a plane, right?
Yes.
And we all know that the big concern right now is global warming, right?
Yeah.
That's
And
Global
planes,
warming.
planes-
It's the thing, people.
Climate change.
Yeah.
Global warming. The world is getting hotter.
So planes put out a tons of emission, right?
Emissions.
Yeah.
Planes. Not as much as that fiery dude, though.
Yeah. Human Torch. That's
Yes.
my point. How many carbon footprint is he taking up versus like a plane or a car or an entire nation?
Dude, when he fires up, it's like a sun.
Yeah.
You would have to prove that climate change is actually a thing that we're causing to happen first.
Dude, the polar
Why does it
caps are
matter?
melting. What more evidence do you need?
I mean,
it's melting.
The whole planet is filling with gases like methane and carbon dioxide, and the
All
atmosphere.
from this flying dude, this flaming
and,
dude?
Yeah, and you've got to have all this water vapor that he's creating, which is monumentally creating it exponentially worse.
There is no concrete proof because we don't have enough history of scientific evidence to say that this isn't a natural swing in the Earth's natural climate.
How many of these fire dudes have we had in the last 100 years?
I mean, if you compare it to something like Krakatoa erupted and it caused a tiny ice age, why can't
That dude caused it too.
Oh, please. Come on. Look at the evidence.
What's his name? I'm sorry.
The Human Torch.
The Human Torch. Yes. Okay. There we go. Human Torch. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, that's who we're talking about, sir. The Human Torch. What are you doing to our environment, man? Seriously.
I mean, over the last 100 years, it has gone from 5 degrees almost increase
every year.
But there's no scientific tracking past
maybe not every
400 years ago.
They've got tracking. They use the ice caps and the soil samples in order to do that.
Is it or is
But
it
it
not?
fluxes.
Is it or is
It's
it not a
natural.
fact that it is getting hotter? It's hotter than heck in here.
It is getting hotter. That is fair. But who says this isn't just a natural progression of the climate?
So
because
you're claiming entropy.
claiming that it's just natural. It's just going on because it happens.
Because
when
it
happens.
happens. The Earth goes through cycles. It's just like the
And it's
flood and
just a
famine
coincidence.
cycle.
I believe in Occam Razor. The easiest answer is probably the answer, and that fiery dude is the easiest answer.
So it's possible, I mean, according to your theory, that Frozone should bounce them out. Ice people versus flame people.
You're putting in other supers that could counteract the other supers, which is kind of what evil and good does.
But at the
evil
same time-
and good supers counteract each other, right?
Possibly, but it could be that these ice people are also putting off emissions. Because think of your air conditioning at home or a freezer. You got to use electricity to power those to get it cooler. So maybe
Isn't that
there's
Freon and stuff. Are these ice people made of Freon? It's something to think about.
I don't know. You still
It's
have
something
to
to
show me
think about.
concrete evidence that the cause is coming from us. That's all I'm saying.
All right, we're gonna table it. We're gonna table it. I think maybe we should do an interview with the fire dude, just to ask him what kind of BTUs he puts out and what is he doing to clean up his emissions.
Yeah.
Right?
I suppose.
Kenny's like, it's all bull crap. Hey, maybe. All right, who we got? Who's got something today?
putting out some emissions of your own. Huh?
Bobby, we're on the air.
Yeah, there it is. What do you got?
So-
I am.
So I just want to put the record straight on this new biopic that's coming out and let everybody know out there in the verse that it's not me.
But it's named The Invisible Man, right?
It's like your name exactly.
Well, yeah, but there's also several Invisible Man.
Wait a minute. So are they all men?
Oh, that's the question.
There are invisible women too.
Why haven't I ever heard of these?
Whoa, why can't I be invisible?
You would have had to have been in the explosion with the rest of us in the lab.
So are there partially invisible people
Yes.
running
Oh, so
around?
so during this lab explosion, there was a lot. How many people? I mean, was it a lot of folks in the lab?
There was about 20 of us in there.
Okay.
So are you so smart because you were once a scientist? Does the invisibility stuff eat your brain?
I don't know yet.
What are you saying? You saying Mr. I Am isn't smart? What are you saying?
No, he has
exactly?
lots of scientific facts, but sometimes he makes me wonder.
Where he is on the spectrum? What are you talking about?
So you know
Uncertain.
all these invisible people because they're your coworkers.
I did know them, but
Once they're
It's
invisible, it's
been
kind of hard
years.
to.
I mean,
You guys don't have an invisible hangout anywhere?
no. This happened like 50 years ago.
Holy crap!
wow.
50. You are that. It would have been good to know that.
Certainly
I
doesn't
I
look
thought
it.
you were like
Dude,
25.
So wait. So you're a naked, 70-year-old geriatric dude sitting in that chair?
Oh, or was the side effect that you stay young? Aha! Is that it? One of the side effects of the thing. We've never duggan.
No.
Duggan. That is a real word, I think. Duggan this deepin into an you.
It does keep us young, so
Okay.
we
but
tend
Wow,
to
so you're
age.
really like 75?
So are you drawing Medicare and Social Security?
Dude, he can eat and do whatever he wants. He just walks in a restaurant, grabs the food, does whatever he wants. Right?
pretty much.
Doesn't it get cold in the winter? When do you put on clothes?
Well-
Do you cut your own hair? What? How does this work?
So in the wintertime, I usually put on clothes and put some makeup on so
Usually.
I can at least look like a normal person.
Why don't you ever come into the office like that? That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
We
It's
always
kinda-
just see an
it's-
invisible mic there, just sitting there.
We just hear your voice.
Somebody
You
tries to
open and
sit on
close
you
doors.
and whoa and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's never
Yeah,
good
you
in
should
the
go-
office.
Yeah,
you
you
know.
should. I think
have a
he
sign.
likes sitting in here naked is what the deal is.
When you do this, like, how good is the makeup job? Like, have you been practicing?
70 years.
I've been doing it for years. Come on.
So people, you walk in and they just think you're a person.
Yeah.
Are you a bald person then? Do you dye your hair? Like, is that how that works?
I wear a wig. I mean,
You wear a wig.
yeah.
So do you have hair? Are you a hairless mole rat invisible guy?
Well, that was one of the side effects is we lost all our hair. So
That makes sense.
Smooth as a baby's behind, huh?
With this biopic coming out, then, do you know who it is? Is it one of your people? Is it somebody that happened to them doing something else? Is it not a part of your lab group? Do you know?
I'm not entirely sure because I haven't seen the biopic, so I'm not 100% sure which one of the people it might be.
Yeah, but based on the promos, like, he seems a little bit violent and insane. Is that like a normal side effect?
There were a few of us that did go insane.
I would think being invisible would be tough.
Did
There would
you-
be some PTSD in there.
Did you see a therapist? Did it work?
He saw the therapist. This therapist did not see him.
One-sided conversation.
He just sat in a room with her.
It's a little hard to...
Therapy by
How did you know it was a
osmosis.
her?
I don't know. It's just,
Is-
he told me
Seriously,
once. I just
dude,
sat there
like,
and she would
what are your
talk to
ethics
herself,
morals
and it helped.
surrounding this? What
What
are your
am I-
ethics and morals surrounding this? Like, because you're naked.
You
Like,
know-
you're in this room naked right now.
I have heard that you invisible people, your morals are a little suspect. Is that true?
We're a little flowing.
So what's home life like? Like, do you live alone? Do you live with all your coworkers? Are you in like a...
Relationship? How
Yeah.
does that work?
What would the babies look like?
Well, I haven't seen anybody that has any kids.
So maybe you're sterile. Is that what you're saying?
So can you see the other invisible people and only you can see them?
No, I can't see them either.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
That must have been really weird after the accident.
Yeah, everybody was just like,
Wait, are you presumed dead so you don't have to pay taxes?
he's shaking his head, yes. Oh, wait, I wouldn't know that because he's invisible. I'm assuming
Wait a
he's
minute.
shaking
You have
his
to
head,
answer
yes.
that.
The chair
Answer
went
that
up and
question.
Oh,
down.
yeah, the chair went up and down. That's right.
Yes, we were all presumed dead.
So this invisible
Dude,
man
wait a
is
minute.
just a moniker. Like, you don't want anybody to know who you really are so that
Who you
owe
were.
back taxes.
Correct.
Yes.
I'm putting words in his mouth, but
It's working.
I've known I am a long time, and we go way back.
Did you
right,
know him
Mr. Ryan?
before the accident, Bummy?
No, dude, I'm not 70. So look at me. I'm a hefty, beautiful 50. I'm not
fair.
75,
That's fair.
and it's a legit 50. I am
legit
I'm a
50.
norm. I'm no specialness that way. I am just a norm. I am not a super. I'm 50 years old, and I just look this good because I just do.
Oh, Bobby, speaking of you,
Oh yeah.
gotta
What do you
talk
got?
to you about something. I know you're gonna have an adverse reaction, so I would ask you to take a deep breath and try to get to that zen place and control some of that anger. Okay, are we ready? So I have it on very good authority that with the backing of the entire press entourage that he comes with, Jamison is throwing his hat in the ring for Prime Minister of the Earth One Alliance.
What are you talking about? That is the most ridiculous, vulgar, horrifying thing I have ever heard in my life. Who on earth would vote for that douchebag?
Over
Whoa.
Lex Luthor?
At least let's. I just had another one. Sorry, excuse me.
He's so emotional he can't even speak.
I just want to say, we give Lex Luthor a lot of crap. He's evil, pure evil. I get it, but he's an honest evil. I don't believe Jamison is an honest evil.
You don't think that Lex bought the election?
Are you kidding me?
I'm sure he bought the election, but everybody knows it, and he knows it, and
But
we
he-
know it.
He lies in office all the time. He runs the entire alliance like it's some sort of reality show based on the Twitterverse. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I always say to that, we voted for him. I don't know why. That's the problem there.
Well,
But
we didn't vote. Parliament voted.
Well, exactly. No, but here's the problem. And I know we want to get off on the current Lex, but the problem is Jamison. You guys
Yes, that's
know
fair. That's fair.
I have a real passion for my love of hating him.
Yes.
He's not a newsman. He's
He's a charlatan. He's a hack.
He's a hack.
He's a hack.
Yes, he makes the news the way Jamison wants the news to be made, and he makes it flamboyant and all this bull crap. He turns it his direction. It's all.
So what
it's
makes
not
him,
news. This is
what
this
makes
is my
him
problem.
Any different from Lex Luthor?
Lex
then?
is evil. Lex is a villain. Jamison pretends not to be.
But you can't deny he gets results. Like, he's a millionaire.
Jamison?
Yeah, he's got a...
So's Lex. What's the difference? The difference is Lex is honest about stealing his millions. Jamison pretends that he's some kind of a news reporter.
What do you think I am?
What do you mean? Oh, what do you? I
Well,
thought you were
because
like,
he's a
what do you think
super.
I am? I'm like, I think you're Kenny. What are you talking about? What do you think
No,
I am?
he's just a super kind of like in between. So like I figure he would have a different take maybe.
And I just want to say we have supers on the Super Dirt payroll. Mr. IM and that flying guy, what's his name, that does the reporting of the weather?
Marty.
No. Yeah, Marty.
Yeah.
Marty Fly Dude. He's a super. I mean, we have some super. The transdimensional guy.
Verse Network does have supers on the payroll.
Yes, and we're a part of that network.
Yes.
And I am gonna say I am not a hater of supers. I am not. What do you call that?
You were
Superist.
Yeah, I'm not a superist. I am not a superist.
powerist.
Super powerist?
It's just powerist.
Powerist.
Oh, a powerist.
That's the new
term.
PC
See,
term.
nobody tells me I'm not politically correct. Okay, I'm not. But anyway, what's my point? Where are we going with
I
this?
am. What are your thoughts on
Well,
like?
I don't know why anybody
Jameson.
would vote for the moron, but
Which
Give
one
me
are
a
you
high
talking
five
about?
there. High five. I am. I just put my hand up and he hit it. I felt it. He's a real human being.
He's
Thank
a real
you.
person.
Thank
He's
you, Mr.
corporeal.
Iron. Why do you say that?
because
He's a douche. I know.
He's a douche.
I agree.
he's a bumbling idiot. Why
With his cigar in his mouth.
Why would anybody want to vote for a bumbling idiot?
Why do you say bumbling? Now, I know why I believe bumbling idiot. Why do you say bumbling idiot? Because I know 100%. Why do you say it?
Well, he's got some experience.
Who?
Half the time,
Invisible Man. He's been around for a while.
Yeah,
I mean, half the time he is making fun of everything and barely could keep his pants on in his own office.
Barely, or does he?
How do you
Barely.
know this? I am.
What does barely mean? Does that mean he
we're not gonna go
undoes the
there.
top button?
No,
We got to go there. I mean, you opened the can of worms
You
now.
did. So there's a scandal
Defamation
to
of
be heard
character
here.
right here. I'm not afraid of you, Jamison. Bring it on.
So you're telling me that he like is
Undoes the top
is
button.
inappropriate at work?
Dude, he's
Are there Me Too moments hanging out in that office
Oh
somewhere?
my gosh. Of
I don't know
course.
if there's any Me Too movements in that office, but
He
there's
does
certainly
have the
time.
molestache.
He does. The mustache. Please.
Okay,
make
I
it
grant that the
stop.
mustache is 70s.
Oh my gosh.
There certainly are moments where I would not want to be walking in behind that desk,
But you have.
but I have.
So, what does that mean?
How far are you going to go? I am.
I think we should
Table that?
table.
Not suitable for young viewers.
Like I said, bring it on, Jameson. The problem is that he may rule the world. Is that what you're telling me? If he
Well, he would
Where's
rule
he at
Earth
in the
one,
polls? Does
not
anybody
like,
know?
Not like the U.S. I mean, he hasn't really thrown his hat in yet. He hasn't made any official
so
announcements.
this is rumor.
So, but I have it on very heavy authority that he's planning a big announcement for this weekend.
So
and
have you
this
heard
is going to be it.
what's his platform going to be? Like, get rid of all the spiders?
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. Like,
we haven't got
Yes.
that far.
Yeah,
I have
no,
no clue about his
he
because
said-
he hasn't said anything.
He talks against Lex Luthor all the time, so I would assume that his platform is to get Lex Luthor out of office.
There we go. Okay. All right.
Like,
Well,
that's the plan.
all right, folks. Here it is. This is the end of Super Dirt right now. We love you, people. No, we love you. We're crazy about the world. We're crazy about getting out there, finding out the dirt on the supers. We're going to give you the real truth. We're going to give you the honest truth. We're going to give you what you deserve to know as norms and other supers out there, knowing how to stay in the game. We'll see you next time. This is Bobby Baxter signing off from Super Dirt HQ.
This has been
I've
a
been
Teapots
Henry
Away Media
And this is
production.
Kenny Cassidy.
You've been Henry Harrison, or you are Henry Harrison?
I have been Henry Harrison today. I'll be Henry Harrison tomorrow.
We will see you next time, y'all.
See you next time, folks.